All right, so we got an interesting opportunity to compare an F250 Tremor to an F350 Tremor. One of the things we noticed right off the bat, we originally thought this was an F350 Tremor that came in. It's actually an F250 Tremor. This truck was ordered right, in my opinion. It didn't come with the spray and bed liner. Now you can kind of choose what you want, but it does have fifth wheel prep. Okay, we're doing a ride comparison, and we want to make sure to give it the most fair chance. We want to ensure the tire pressure is correct. Man, LED rear tail light does look pretty sharp. Okay, we filled the tire pressure up to the recommendation on the door stickers to make sure we get the best, most honest comparison. Okay, obviously being a Platinum, you get the nicer leather covering in the side. And this is a big deal to me. I do like the little center console push test. I don't get any noise or any feeling. Get obviously the Platinum steering wheel. I mean, I've been in a bunch of Platinums. They're all very premium inside. There's no doubt about it. Get the unleashed stereo with the headrests. This being a max recline truck that's been removed. Yeah, it's nice. Dash layout still the same as a Lariat Ultimate. Kind of neat comparing the Platinum to the King Ranch. A little different trim, and this just still says Superduty like Lariat Ultimate, whereas the King Ranch, you get the neat King Ranch feature built into it. Yep, a little different, just different trim pieces. All right, so what do you think about ride quality on this versus say an F350? What's your honest opinion? Like, I don't think there's any difference. Feels the same as my truck. I mean, we'll ride back to back, but I'm feeling like the steering wheel and everything, nothing feels better or worse. I'd say it's very similar. Yeah, I don't know if you got any thoughts on it.
I feel like the drive quality is pretty much on par with what you were getting out of the Lariat for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with everything kind of lined up in terms of the tire pressure, everything kind of dialed in. I don't see a huge difference.
No, I don't see anything either. I don't know any noticeable difference in ride quality from the F250 to F350. And what's crazy is we're running around with 60 and 65 PSI in the tires. Yeah. So if we bump this up to 75 to 80 that's in my truck, this would even stiffen up even more. Yeah. So this is good confirmation. If someone's on the fence, hey, do I do an F250 or F350? Just jump to a 350. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. Yeah. I mean, I just don't see any $800 more.
To me, it also, it doesn't take anything from the Platinum, I guess, for me, but I think it speaks even more highly about the Lariat.
Right, right. It's a high value.
Yeah,
for sure.
Than what you're getting out of that package, you know. It's just a nice freaking truck.
Yep. Hey, look at this coming in the mirror here. Got an F150 Tremor pulling next to the 250 Tremor. Nice.
Yeah, couple upgrades.
Let's see. Keeping it about 70. I'm just curious, like, fuel economy at 70 miles an hour on the highway. It looks like, well, we're kind of going downhill at the moment, but we're uphill. I would think it's probably about 20 at 70.
Not so bad.
No.
What's yours running?
I think that's probably pretty similar. I think about 70. I'm probably around 20 miles per gallon or so. Kind of slowed it down a little here, but see, this is our crappy roads. I feel like it's, I still don't think it's any stiffer than my truck. It doesn't feel any different. So they must not put any real differences in the suspension from a 250 to a 350. So cool that you can run the Pro Power on board too for driving. And it takes your breath away hitting those bumps.
I know. Gosh. Just takes it right out of you.
All right, pulling back in, we'll see what we get for fuel economy. There you go, 17.1 for 17.9 miles per gallon. Let's see what we got here see if it'll show the payload. Yeah, it does. It's showing up.
It's pretty sick.
So that would be, so see how you can see the scale, like kind of fluctuating? Yeah. So I bet if you jumped out, or I'll jump out, I bet that goes to 0. Just a guess. Let's see. Yep. See it dropping already. Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Huh. So something we just noticed on this truck. So it's 2,990 pounds of payload. But here's something that's interesting. If you compare an F250 Tremor to an F350 Tremor, if you look right here, this has a front axle rating of 5,200 pounds. If we look at the rear axle, it is 6,240 pounds. And if we look at the total GVW, it's 11,000 pounds. So if you jump now to the F350 Tremor, same truck, both the same engine, same wheelbase, here's where you see some difference. So the front axle is the same rating of 5,200 pounds. If we go to the rear axle, it jumps from, I think it's 6,000, I gotta go back and look, to 7,050, and your GVW jumps from 11,000 to 12,000. So what's interesting about this is when you look at all this thing, look at my truck, 4,114 pounds, and that truck is 2,990. So you gain quite a bit by jumping to F350. The other thing you notice is look at the tire pressure, 60 PSI, 75, 75, versus the other truck is 60 PSI and 65. What's interesting is an F250 versus an F350 front axle weight rating, it's identical. There's no difference. But what I'd like to know is why does the F250 Tremor have a 700-800 pounds less rear axle weight rating? That's interesting. I don't know, is there anything mechanically different? Why would they derate that rear axle 800 pounds? I don't know. It's pretty interesting. But just our first impressions comparing ride quality, we didn't notice any difference. Didn't really notice any difference in the fuel economy, the ride quality from an F250 to an F350 Tremor. So someone's gonna get a pretty sweet truck here. There's no doubt about it. Beautiful. No doubt it's a really nice truck. Okay, I'm gonna reset my fuel economy here just to show you guys what I can get. I'm gonna go do the exact same loop I just did, come on, with the F250, that bad boy there, the Tremor F250 high output diesel. Let's see if there's anything different in ride quality or fuel economy. Okay, we're gonna see the comparison here in ride quality. You're gonna hear some more stuff right in the back of my truck rattling around just because I got some car seats back here. But we'll compare the ride quality and road noise and just generally how it compares to the Platinum. So doing the same loop here, gonna be curious to see how the I'm really curious to see how the ride quality, road noise, and fuel economy. I mean, I don't expect there to be a big difference, especially in fuel economy. I can't see there be any difference at all. But I'm just doing this because I think a lot of people kind of want to know if there is a difference, but I don't expect there to be really any difference. But the ride quality and noise is a bigger deal to me, because maybe the Platinum has a little bit better, maybe it has a little softer dampening than a non-Platinum. And then the other thing too I'm wondering about is, how is the noise? Is it quieter cabin? Is there better insulation? Now, something to keep in mind, I just realized this, I don't think I deflated my airbags on my truck. So I'm actually running with like probably 25 to 30 PSI in the back right now. So it should stiffen it up pretty substantially. And it's kind of silly on my part, but even with it being stiffer, I'm not noticing really any difference in the ride quality right now. I mean, we just literally did back to back. My exhaust filter, both of these trucks had like no back pressure, running air conditioning on and cooled seats. So trying to make it as equal of comparison, similar speed, not using cruise control, same roads, same day, within 30 minutes of each other. Try to move all the variables I can. All right, halfway point, and just going to do the other part. What's interesting is I'm already noticing better fuel economy, and I'm a little confused by this. I don't know why I've got, I think at this point, probably almost 2 miles per gallon better than the other truck. I can't think that the tire pressure would have that big of a difference. And then I thought, well, you know, maybe it's because Josh isn't riding with me on this round, but I've got about 400 pounds of payload in the back of my truck that the brand new Superduty didn't have. The brand new Superduty didn't have a spray and bed liner. A little bit of weight there too. But I've got a Pull-Right Super Glide in the back. I've got some other stuff, and I'll show you that. I'm trying to accelerate at the same speeds. Neither truck was in eco mode either. I'm running in standard. That other truck was in standard. And it's kind of got me wondering, could it possibly be air pressure? Could it possibly be that I'm running a tonneau cover? Does that help the fuel economy? I don't know. That's just interesting that like right now it's quite a bit better, and we're literally driving within 30 minutes of each other. Both trucks were warmed up. I don't know. That's interesting. I even might actually be going a little bit faster in this truck. I'm going to try to mimic everything I can without using cruise control. Okay, getting near, got the last mile or two of highway here, just for comparison's sake, trying to compare fuel economy. It seems like it's a lot better. I'll be curious to see what hits and fuel mileage I get, you know, at the stoplights. I mean, there's only like 3, but just for comparison, so far it seems to be doing pretty good. And I'm actually, I think through this section, I think I was actually going a little faster. You can see I'm purposely doing everything I can not to be by any other driver, so there's no chance of hypermiling or anything like that. The reason I'm not using cruise control is, from my experience, I don't think cruise control is a great example of fuel economy, especially with adaptive cruise, because it's just going to draft off another car, it's going to run up on it. So I can control it a little more accurately in some ways without adaptive cruise. All right, we'll get off now and finish up this trip and see how this compares. Getting caught at the same stoplights, or pretty darn close to it, to when I was doing the F250 Tremor. All right, just going to turn in now and finish up the drive. Really curious to see where these numbers compare. They got another Tremor they just sold. Pretty sweet ride in the 7.3. I'm even gonna pull it into the exact same spot just to compare miles to make sure it's all legit. I won't back it in, but you can at least see. All right, let's see where we ended up. 17.9 miles. I think that was the same as the other one. 19.5 miles per gallon. Why would this truck get like over 2 miles per gallon better than the same truck, but in an F250? Same truck. Could it be the tonneau? I mean, it's possible. I mean, but at the same time, how much do you get as far as a hit for all this stuff? I mean, I've got quite a bit of stuff in here. Plus, I got probably 400 pounds of payload in the bed of the truck right now. That truck didn't have that. Is it all that? I don't know. Is it the tire pressure? Or is it possible the truck being broken in? Got some miles on it now, 6,000 miles. Did it pick up some fuel economy? I hope you enjoyed this comparison of the Platinum versus the Lariat for ride quality and sound, as well as the F250 versus the F350 for fuel economy. Some interesting results. Thanks for watching.